everyone. So this is a very interesting topic in a world where, convenience is becoming more and more of a fundamental requirement for everyone. Is there a sweet spot between speed, quality? Is there something that is called fast enough? And how do we balance between that? So we're going to start off with Maxim. If you can tell us a bit about eJaby and what it's about and how you balance these two.
Well, first of all, thank you everyone for this amazing opportunity. My name's Max. I'm the co-founder and CEO of a company called eJaby. eJaby stands for positive in Arabic. Now, earlier today, I've been listening into the conversations and I heard the word food quite a bit. I heard the word sustainability almost equally as much. And I heard the word affordability. Guess what? eJaby is a platform, a marketplace in the form of an application that's actually covering those topics. So what we do is, if we take a step back and we look at the food value chain, we've chosen the bold move to work with distributors, manufacturers, and wholesalers who are actually delivering all the ingredients for the food service we spoke about. We know that we are heavily reliant on import. In fact, 85% of the products in the UAE are being imported. I'm talking F&B alone. Any slight disturbance on the way in, could be the Red Sea, could even be at customs, poses a real problem on the supply side. Distributors have a clock ticking because the retailers are very strict on their rules. Something that also stands out for this region is called reverse logistics. With the rise of convenience, especially here in Dubai, reverse logistics are being very common. We see that on a consumer level, but we also see that at the retail level. So, in fact, suppliers we work with assume 15% in their P&Ls as a write-off. And we are here to help them to save that cost. And how do we do that? We've built an e-commerce solution to unlock the product that's being stuck in the B2B between suppliers and retailers. And we unlock that by delivering that directly to consumers' doorsteps. A triple win, cost saving for suppliers. We always sell on discounted prices. So for our consumers, affordability, as we spoke about. And guess the last win? It's avoiding waste. So it's good for the environment and the climate. I'll stop here. Just to reiterate, we are an enabler. We're not a delivery company, but I have my views on what delivery and how important delivery is for us.
Excellent. So actually to build on that, so what you're doing is also getting high quality, slow moving items back to consumers with a triple win. But that means the question is, are people willing to wait for that high quality item to get it at a discount? And this is a bit of a different ball game of when we get to fast deliveries of 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and 30 minutes. In your experience, are consumers willing to wait for a Wagyu at 30% of the price?
I'm happy you mentioned the Wagyu, just because I always bring that example to the table. We're handling high quality product. Our consumer base are healthy and sustainable living people. So for a fact, we're selling Tomahawk Wagyu beef at 50% discount. Why? Because it got stuck early on in the supply chain. On average, we sell 50% discount, and on average, we have 2 to 3 months before the product would expire. Now, to your question, our model is very new, is novel, because we are now asking those suppliers to also fulfill. We want to give them some time, right? Not to immediately destroy the customer experience. In the UAE, especially here in Dubai, there's 2 points in business to differentiate yourself in. The first one is price point, and the second one is convenience. I'm Dutch. I always try to tell my friends in the Netherlands that I actually have a car coming to fill up my gas tank. They can't believe it. It's so easy. Everything's easy. It just happens like that. Same for food. Even if I want to order a glass, it will be at my doorstep in 10 minutes. Now, what we do, to your question, we inform our customer. It is as simple as that. We inform our customer. And I always say an informed customer counts for 2. Why is that important? Last point here, unit economics. And a business like mine and Careem is all hinging on the positivity of your LTV versus CAC. So we are very much looking into how can we get that customer coming back to us. And that happens through just more than quick delivery. Yeah. That happens through trust, transparency, affordability, and of course, product quality.
Excellent, thank you. So now we go to Jaskaran. Now, Careem, the name of the game is speed. So what has Careem been doing on the speed and the quality front to keep satisfied and loyal customers?
Sure, Careem. First of all, thank you everyone for having me here, and really inspiring to hear the keynotes and all the insights. Guys, I'm Jaskaran. I lead the food delivery business at Careem. I'm sure many of us here know Careem. We started with ride hailing, and now we operate more than 20 services, and we are the region's, I would like to believe, the first and the best so far super app. Food delivery, groceries, payments are just some of the services that we offer in Dubai. Now, coming to Kareem's question, I'd actually like to go to the point where we started food delivery, and thankfully that happened before COVID, because that really impacted our ride-hailing business. So we were one of the last players to enter food delivery, and at the time there was actually a press release which said that this boat has sailed, and Careem has no chance. And it's actually up on the wall in the office, and it inspires us every day, because we really took this to heart. And we said, okay, now how do we set ourselves apart and move ahead in this industry? And we always had this DNA of logistics when it came to ride hailing. So we had a lot of data on where do people live, where are the parking spots, how long does it take, traffic, maps, ETAs, so on and so forth. And we thought that let's use that to actually delight customers. What we noticed at the time was the players who were offering food delivery were actually stacking or pooling a lot of orders. And so the food was arriving, but not in the best shape or form. And we felt that we could leverage our logistics DNA and actually get people the food they need in the best quality and on time. And we made a bet, and we launched a campaign called Dirhams for Delays. It's very simple. We promise you an ETA, and for every minute of delay, we give you 1 dirham back. And the whole point was not to pressurize our captains, the people who deliver food. We respectfully call them captains. But it was to use our tech to make sure you get your food on time. The captains actually don't even know what the time we promised to the customer is. And this did really well. Customers really took on to this. They said, let's try this service, let's see what it's all about, and so on and so forth. So Careem, to your point, this helped us create a lot of disruption in the industry, and over the last 5 years, Careem has now grown to become actually the #2 food delivery aggregator in Dubai. So yeah, being on time and delivering on time really matters to customers in Dubai.
So a follow-up to that. So you have data, and it's all about data. Do you find that there is a sweet spot in terms of a delivery time where customers are happy and the quality of the food still has its own prep time and comes ready? So is 15 minutes the sweet spot? Is it 20 minutes? Is it 30 minutes? 15 minutes is a stretch, but I'm just saying. Is there a certain time where you found, okay, if we get to 30 minutes or 40 minutes, people are still happy, the quality of the food is good? Have you seen anything like that?
Yeah, great question. Look, I think we discuss this internally quite a lot. And I come from India. And if you look at the Eastern markets, people care a lot about value. If you go to the West, people care a lot about quality. Dubai is an amazing city. Here, people want everything. They want the choice. They want it fast. They want it at their door. And they want their money to go a long way, right? So in a way, people want everything. Now, the beauty of what's happening with AI and tech and data is that you actually can offer people exactly what they need, right? So depending on what you're looking for instance, if you're looking for a shawarma, which is very quick to prepare, it can come out of a dark kitchen, which is close to you, we can get it to you in 15 minutes, right? Now, you have friends over at home, you want 1 kg grill, God forbid I try and get you that in 15 minutes, right? So it's really about understanding what customers need at every point in time, using our data to curate the options that we can offer. Working with a lot of the members of the UAE restaurant group are very able restaurant partners to set the right expectations and then deliver it on time with quality. So yeah, I think we can sort of straddle the spectrum there.
Nice. So I hear commonality. So here it's about transparency to the customer, setting expectation, and letting them make the choice on if this is something they're willing to wait for. So I'll transition back to you, Max. So when it comes to this sweet spot, of course, you're always venturing into accelerating the whole service. Are you partnering with anyone in order to get the whole process back to customers as fast as possible?
Yes. So we've chosen when we launched the business, we are a 100% tech data generating company. We are enablers. We hold no stock. I have no warehouses. I hold no fleet, right? So we are not a delivery company. People sometimes ask me, are you like, the big ones? I'm like, no. How about cucumbers? I said, let the big guys fight it out. Let them fight it out. It's not my business. We are integrated through technology. It's called backend API integration with 5 delivery companies here. Careem is one of them, right? So
we have their fleet, so.
So exactly. So for us, it's really all about enabling the sale, if you will. But as we heard about today earlier, 200 nationalities here. It's amazing. Sustainability on the rise, healthy living on the rise. We are tapping into a community. So when you're asking me where is the sweet spot, I would refrain from looking at how many minutes, if it's 15, 10, or are they knocking the door before you have even ordered, right? That's what I always jokingly say. It's much more around quality, and quality does not only mean great food products. It means, again, feeling part of a community. It's around sustainability. It's around affordability and transparency. That's what we work on. Now, occasionally we have someone asking us, oh, I have a birthday party tonight. I want that Wagyu beef. Well, then we connect with my man on the right. And if it is within a certain radius, we will make that happen.
That makes sense. So now let's talk about a bit of the cost of speed. So it has a kind of a cost, not only financial, but the pressure on restaurants or other retailers to create the food faster, manage their whole system on the back end to get things out of the door at a faster rate. On the captains as well, delivering. So everybody's like, oh, it's 15 minutes late and there's traffic in Dubai. We all know that. So what is that real cost of speed, in your opinion, Jaskaran?
Yeah, let me take a crack at that. And you're right, it is not cheap to be able to do this, right? But let me give you a sense for how this can be addressed, right? So if you're trying to do a 15-minute fresh and fast kind of experience, what that means is you cannot offer the whole spectrum. So that assortment gets a bit limited. We need to work then with hyper-local locations, be it cloud kitchens, out of which different kinds of food can be prepared, or restaurants which are within a relatively smaller radius, right? So you have slightly lesser choice in terms of the dishes you want, as well as the restaurants you want, in order to, one is to manage the cost, but also to not make it unsafe, right? And to manage the strain on captains and so on and so forth. And then on top of that is where you power it with data and all of that AI capability. Now, the beauty is where you don't actually need to end up making trade-offs is if you understand the city at a neighborhood level and you understand, okay, this is more offices, this is more small families, or this is more villa communities and larger families, that is how you can tailor the assortment, right? And on this, I'll take the example of Quick, which is our 1P grocery business, where we operate dark stores. So you see, if you go to let's say a Carrefour or a full-scale retailer, you'll have like tens of thousands of SKUs. But when you're operating a dark store, you have like 2,000, 3,000 square feet. You need to really, really tailor the assortment. What milk, what bread, what meat, so on and so forth. And it all boils down to being very close to your customers, understanding that data, and then curating that assortment, be it restaurants that you're delivering from, or groceries, or even we are now extending into retail, right? So be it electronics or beauty products or so on and so forth. So that I think with scale and with tech, it just becomes easier to solve, and that's how you balance the cost.
That's awesome. So to follow up on that, so are you seeing higher loyalty from customers when you deliver on the promise of time and quality?
Yeah, this is a great question. And you know, when we were exploring the 15-minute delivery paradigm, many people asked us, man, who needs things in 15 minutes, right? And we go back to the Henry Ford example, right? If you had asked people what they needed at the time, they would have said, give me a faster horse, right? And maybe we wouldn't have had the car. So no one said that they want things in 15 minutes. But what you start to notice is that, I'll take my personal example, right? Like pre-COVID, it would be a once-a-week trip to the grocery store to stock up, and then maybe some top-ups within the week. Now that you can get things in 15 minutes, that starts to eat away at that large basket, right? You can get your milk fresh, the vegetables can be fresh, the fruit can be fresh, so on and so forth. And by the time you reach the end of the week, there isn't a lot to make the trip for, right? So I think what this unlocks in the customer's mind is that I have like a companion or friend I can fall back on, and they'll kind of fulfill my need whenever it's needed. But this is not enough. You need to offer this experience for sure. On top of that, you need to do things like, we worked on Careem Plus, which is a membership program. I had the privilege of starting it. This has now grown to more than 400,000 members in Dubai. And for like a small price of 19 dirhams, you unlock a host of benefits. You get discounts on rides, unlimited free delivery, and so on, right? And what happens is when you offer a good experience with then value unlocked through things like memberships, we've seen our retention rates jump up to 95%. In a B2C business, that's unheard of, right? So when you stack these things up and you combine them, I think that's really where magic happens. And maybe the final thing here, see, these are real world businesses, right? Which means by definition, things will go wrong. The restaurant might miss something, the captain might miss something, there might be a delay, so on and so forth. So we've invested quite heavily in having our care service so that when things go wrong, you can either text us or call us, and we offer multiple languages, which is what is needed in a city like Dubai with so many nationalities. And so we've got your back. So when you stack up the combination of convenience and speed, loyalty products like memberships, and then world-class support, I think that's really where the magic happens.
That's awesome. So we're going to try to solve that mystery of the sweet spot between speed and quality. So Maxim, if we were to put it in a formula of speed and quality, what would that formula look like for you?
Well, again, I'm very much in the enabling position. For me, and I think it was you who said it earlier, living in Dubai, people expect the world, right? And why don't they? Why not, right? Why not? Here's where we live. Technology is here. The convenience is right at our doorstep. I truly believe that when you're starting a business like myself, it is really important to listen to the voice of the customer and not just project what we believe is the solution for each and every customer. And at our stage where we're generating a lot of data from our customers, we're starting to understand where that sweet spot lies. So my answer to you would be, listen to the customer first before you start pushing your solution to them. And for us, we are at this early stage very happy that we're in a position that we can really segment out that particular customer segment, which in our case are value seekers. People who understand great quality product, but also understand a great price point, right? Again, against the backdrop of sustainability.
Great, thank you. Same question, Jaskaran.
Careem is a very hard taskmaster. I know he's not going to let us go unless we give him specific answers. So let me take a stab at it, right? Look, if the items are ready, right? So fruit and veg, some food which is very quick to prepare, or even you need an iPhone, we can get it to you in 15 to 20 minutes. And we do that already, right? Something slightly more elaborate, the time goes to like 30 minutes. You want full service, all the restaurants, things you like, but within a decent kind of radius, 40 odd minutes. Now you want your favorite place from old Dubai, where we need to make a long trip and it's a large order, then things take longer. So really, it is really a spectrum. And I think we serve all parts of that spectrum. And what we're seeing increasingly is the customers want more, faster. And I think really this is the spirit of Dubai. It pushes us to innovate on behalf of the customer. If you were speaking to me 2 years down the line, my guess would be all of these numbers would move to the left, right? Which means people will want more, faster. Yeah. Of course, we have to cook it.
Yeah, of course. So it really depends on the customer's expectations. So what I hear is context and transparency. So what do you want? It depends what it is. And then the transparency to say that this will take that much time. This plus technology, the data of calculating how long it will take to deliver, that could be a sweet spot that is different across different customers and different categories.
And maybe to add to your question on cost, people are willing to pay for convenience, definitely. So
not only convenience, but quality. I mean, we recently launched a croissant pizza at Papa John's, and it's at a higher price than the average because the quality of butter and everything that's inside, and it's doing amazingly well, although it's not your typical price point for a pizza. So quality does matter at the end of the day. So that's it for us. Thank you guys for joining me today, and thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.